Hey YouTube, it's your beekeeper here. Saturday morning, 1 week after the last video. My back-ordered molded radiator bypass hose came in. Rotor distributor cap. My list of parts are shrinking, which is awesome. It'll be nice. I'm hoping. See if we can get this thing running today. This weekend I'm hoping to get it running, hoping to get the brakes done. I ordered new tires because it needs new tires, and let's just get to work. Ooh, it's so pretty. All right, let me see if my brain can remember where we are. Everything that's installed is completely installed, if I remember correctly. All the vacuum lines are hooked up. This is the washer squirters. I need to figure out why this hinge is like super stuck. I think the top of this hinge is underneath here. I can take that panel off, I believe. I should have probably looked into that. Yeah, looks like an engine. Awesome. Okay, belts are tight. Got about, I don't know, ½ inch or so deflection. Alternator belt. Oh, I need to tighten these. Don't let me forget that. I put engine oil in. We have 5 quarts of oil. You can't even see because it's so clean. I missed a hole. That's what she said. Rotor cap, wires. Let me do that before I forget. Drop the radiator in. Put the map sensor, air box, all that shit back together. And ready to turn the key. The one thing I can't figure out, I don't remember where this went. It's got a captured nut on one side. It bolts into somewhere on the other side. It's rusty, which would make it kind of think it's not, you know, surface rust. It's like some kind of support thing. Maybe it'll make sense once the radiator goes in. I don't really know. We'll see. Let me know in the comments below if you know where that bar goes. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just stupid. So, we got a new air filter in there. I am going to give all this stuff a good bath. Everything's so damn dirty. Got the new radiator. Watch me drop it. Good old Rock Auto hooked me up. Got the fan shroud hooked onto it. This obviously is a radiator for an automatic transmission. I hope that's not an issue. I don't recall being asked, but I'm probably stupid and I probably ordered the wrong one. So as long as it bolts in, I'm good. And also, it's a good thing I paid attention to the picture because the picture did not show a radiator cap. So I thought, self, you better order a radiator cap, which I did. It's right. I ordered a radiator cap. It's right. Oh, there. 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 I'm glad I ordered that, because otherwise I'd be going to the local AutoZone and paying top dollar. How about that? Okay, let me drop this in. Oil's in. I showed you that. Let's keep going. is topped off. Antifreeze is the top of the radiator for right now. I'll fire it up and see where that goes. Everything's plugged in. The only extra parts are these. These are the bolts for the hood. This is some sort of reinforcing thing that I'm missing. Oh yeah, I've got some keepers, hose keepers here, which I'll do in a minute. But that's it. Check this out. Back of the truck is empty. Nothing. Oh, did you guys know that I rode a unicycle? I don't know that I've done any videos of that. It used to be my my pastime when I had this truck and, well, whatever, unicycle, truck. All right, let's set you guys down. I got my phone there in case I need to call 911. I guess we'll set you here. Just making sure there's no leaks. Set you right there. All right,
So once I pulled my head out of my rear end and I actually set the timer on my phone, that's what I went back and grabbed my phone for. I did start the timer, and I'm not going to bore you with the next 29 minutes. I ran it a total of just over 30 minutes. Right here I'm revving it up, probably somewhere between 2,000, 2,500 RPM for the first several minutes, and then I varied the throttle just to kind of help seat everything, get the rings to seat, get that cam worn in. You know, just getting the startup procedure. But I ran it like 31 minutes and 29 seconds, something like that. For the first fire, keeping the RPMs up pretty high. I'm going to do a heat cycle. So what I wanted to do, you can see a little steam coming out the tailpipe there. What I wanted to do was get it up to temperature, and right there, it's starting to pressurize the system, and I put the cap on there, and so it'll actually get some pressure. But ultimately, I let it run for long enough to get the thermostat to crack open. I could feel it in the heater hoses. I have the thermostat, the heater core open. Yeah, right there, I'm checking to make sure there's not an oil light or anything. I probably should have. I mean, I checked that initially when I first got out of the car. And then there, I also turned the heater on, which opens up the valve to let the water, the coolant, it's not water, let the coolant circulate through the heater core. So just trust and believe that it ran for the next 31 minutes and 29 seconds, pretty doggone flawlessly. I'm super happy about it. And then I'll bring you back on the clip after the fact.
well, sweet Georgia Brown, not one leak. Still smells a little like fresh paint and dirty hands. Funny, I felt when that thermostat opened up, because the air went from cool to warm coming back off the fan. So the thermostat's up, this thing's circulating, hopefully. Alright, just took it for a ride around the block a little bit. Feels like it's got good power, smooth acceleration throughout, no weird noises. Still smells a little weird, but it smells like burning paint. It's a familiar smell. Yay! Alright, now it's, I'm gonna fix this hinge. Oh, we got lots of other things to do. Figure out why that hinge is stuck. Give this thing a good bath this weekend. Get the brakes done. Tires are ordered. They'll be in Tuesday or so of next week. Right, we're not leaking anything, are we? Sounds good. Sounds good. Alright, now that you've seen and heard it run, we got a good 30 minutes of run time on it. Drove it around the block a few times. Taking care of a few things that have been bugging me for a while. This hinge on the passenger side has been crusty and hard to make the hood open and close. 3 screws, 2 bolts, or excuse me, 2 nuts for the washer arms, and this panel here comes off. That's what's on the roof. And then I'm just pulling this apart, cleaning up some of the rust. The joy of living on the coast. But we'll get her sorted out. I got this one loosened up quite nicely. This one I didn't have to take all the way apart. That's all fluid film. I used PB Blaster, heat on the other side. This one just needed, I loosened this bolt, made sure it had enough schmutz in there, worked its way in there, and we're good. Yay!
It's fun working on these little cars where all the body panels really don't weigh much. I mean, I get it, you know, if you're in a fender bender, you need more steel around you, but I can single hand this hood, and the majority of my work experience are big heavy trucks where it takes at least 2 people, big heavy vehicles, you know, old American iron that it takes a couple people to set a hood in there. You'd be lucky if 2 could get it in without causing any damage. But I want you to take a look at the bottom of this hood. Take a look at how dirty and funky that is. That's 25, 6, 7, 27 years of just being a truck and driving over. You know, this truck has taken me 288,000 miles and over at least four different states. I may have touched the corner of a 5th state. Hard to say. California, Nevada, Oregon, Washington. California, Nevada, Oregon, Washington. Washington State, and I'm pretty sure that's anyway. I've done a lot of driving on this truck, so there's a lot of areas of this truck that are funky. So just pay close attention to the bottom of the hood, because the next clip, and I didn't show this because I think I'm weird about certain things on certain things, right? And I went through with a degreaser and scrubber sponge, and I cleaned quite intently the bottom of the hood because I didn't like the way it looked. And I cleaned the firewall and I cleaned the inner fender wells. And it's ridiculous because I'll never do that again. I've done that a lot in my lifetime, and I'm not quite sure why my brain wants me to have stuff perfect. I'll spend the time, and you'll see in the next video when I strip the rims, the wheels on this truck and put several coats of paint on there of a metallic silver, and they look all fancy pantsy, but I'll never do that again for 20 more years. You know, I will never probably wash the underside of the hood again, but I did, and I scrubbed all the little nooks and crannies, and yeah, I'm having a little trouble here or something. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, yeah, look at the bottom of that hood and then wait for the next clip. Oh yeah, I did take a Sharpie and I marked where the bolts are in alignment to the hinge and where the hinge is aligned to the hood. So it was a super easy first try. You'll see it locks just fine.
I know it's just silly, but yup, almost done. This whole truck is filthy as sin, but the engine compartment's going to be clean right now, and then I'll do the outside. But you know, gotta do what you gotta do.
So I've said it before, and I've said it again. I live by the coast. We do get a lot of moisture, so the vehicles out here, if you're not careful, they rust from the top down. You folks that live in the Rust Belt and live in those states that salt the roads, your rigs rust from the bottom up. But we don't really get snow here in Northern California. We certainly don't salt our roads up here, so the undercarriage of this truck is like perfect, but top down is where it gets all that marine influence and it gets moist. So right here, I'm just kind of hosing it down to soften up some of the funk, and you'll see me spraying some clear liquid on the car, and that what that is actually bleach and water. It's 50-50 bleach and water because the white paint, for whatever reason, I mean, I'm sure it gets moldy, and I'm sure there's a mold it's probably not the black mold that grows in your house that's going to get you killed, but it is a dark mold that grows on the vehicles if you don't keep them clean. And this vehicle has sat untouched, unmoved for 9 months. So right there is bleach. I save old spray bottles, like in this case, it's a Windex bottle, because the bleach really destroys the plastics and the rubbers and stuff. So I'll keep one or two of these old spray bottles hanging around, and I'll use them for bleach and water mixes when I'm trying to get rid of mold. And then when they finally fail, the bleach finally destroys them, then they go in the recycle bin. But right here, yeah, I'm just spraying bleach. I end up spraying bleach on the entire vehicle, including the camper shell, because that funky black stuff grows on there. Because I mean, look at the sky. It's overcast. Yep, yep, yep. All right, let's keep on washing. And the brush that I'm using is a horsehair brush, so it's actually quite nice. When it gets wet, the hairs get nice and soft. It's actually quite a nice brush to wash your vehicles with.
Oh, she's a shiny little bitch, isn't she? Just put 25 miles on her. Ran pretty darn good. Ooh. Hood goes up and down. Holy crap, super easy. Pretty clean. Guess we're gonna call this successful. Big shout out to Skippy for giving me a hand on this. More hands definitely make light work. Skippy Jr. was there for a biscuit. And yeah, not one leak. That's surprising. I honestly can't remember. I put many, not many. I'm far from the expert, but I put a whole lot of engines in cars, rebuilt mini engines and heads and whatnot. But there's always something. There's always a leak or a drip or something. This one went together. No oil, no fuel, no radiator. No leaky. No leaky. Yay! So yeah, big shout out to Skippy Jr. for giving me a hand. Today I was a solo cholo, but that's okay. They had stuff and things to do. Super excited about having my little dog truck back. And what's more exciting is it's got almost a full tank of gas, which is funny because, you know, anytime you fill your tank up like to the top, that's when you're going to get into an accident, or when your car's going to get stolen, or when an engine blows up and it sits for 9 months. But it was bought when gas was cheap, so that's like 70 bucks worth of gas sitting in the tank at today's rate in California. $6.50 a gallon for regular. Oh, I'm super happy with how that cleaned up too. All right, we're gonna shut this down. I'm gonna go inside, get myself a bite to eat. Tomorrow, I'm gonna pull the wheels and tires off, scrub them up, paint them, do the brakes front and back. Today I got grass to cut and stuff, other errands. Do my laundry, you know, be a responsible fella. And besides, the floor is wet. Who wants to lay on a wet floor or sit on a wet floor and do brakes? So I'll save that up for tomorrow. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys hanging out with this series. I do. Appreciate you. I do. All right. Thanks for watching. Gotta go, gotta run. See you. I mean, really, who takes a scrub brush to the underside of their hood? Well, apparently I do. 27 years of grime. I figure it's the least I could do. Alright, now we can uncover the engine. We'll fire it up, let it warm up, help dry things off. and we'll wash the outside.